Welcome to Bristol, where qualifying just getting underway. In the Draft ARCA series podcast, see the 55 Margison crashing on his warm-up lap. Hadn't even taken the green flag yet. That's right, Zach, we saw that. 6 of Jay Schaefer heading out. Keystone Light Chevy. All these ARCA cars getting an update since the last week. New technical directives have been put out. I have a windshield banner on these cars. So you see the in the draft across the windshield. See this car all taped up for qualifying. Currently on top of the charts, Lucas Hoytsma. In the 89, as he pulls outside of pit road and disappears. Griffin Jones up into the wall in the 53. 53 setting the third quickest lap. Wes Parker currently fourth fastest in the 22. Team did not have time to make a new Dodge for him, so he's in a Chevy this week. Second lap jumps him up to second. Good lap there from Parker. Andrew Hayes, 6th. Roebuck goes 7th. Kyle Dean, the Wonder Chevrolet, goes 15th here. Adam Crozier, the Nissan GTR, down in 17th. Rafael Vieira jumps up to 10th. Margison did eventually put a lap in that counts. Goes up to the 9th position in his GTR. That's right, we have GTRs out here. There's a 911 scheme for September 12th. Kelly Hyatt. Mike Edwards headed out on track. Edwards jumps up to the 6th spot. His teammate Ethan Evers completes his qualifying. Second lap slower for Evers. He will remain 10th. Dominic Lee goes up to the 5th spot. Trenton Sneed goes up to P2 and then quickly disappears, so we can't show him. It's like people don't like TV time. Alex Reeling, 42. Let's see if we can grab him. No, he's sitting on pit road. Not a lot going on there. Dominic Lee disappears. How about Trey? Trey Gaboy going out there in the 18. Very patriotic looking ride here for Trey. Goes out, start his qualifying, gets up and into the outside wall. No. That'll invalidate his first lap, and he's going to have to get it all on lap 2. Right. Couldn't tell if he got the wall there or not. It was close. Very close. Oh, that lap counted. Goes up to the 23rd position. Alkire heading on track in this Brad Keselowski Blue Angel scheme that was run at Richmond. Bristol's close enough to Richmond, right? See, 43 gets a little out of shape coming off of 4. Had to lift a little bit. That'll hurt his lap time for his first time lap here. It's actually his second. His first one puts in a 15:41. He got real tight there. Still faster, 15:34. Moves him up to 18th. And we're going to be back to having no cars on track. No cars on track to show you. 25 cars put a lap time in. 37 have entered, so everyone will make it in. Qualifying, not going to knock anyone out. First race of the season, we actually had 4 drivers be sent home. Field was that large for season opener. It's like Nick Cameron wants to go out right at the end of qualifying. And we are set to get this race underway. I know Trenton has all his fans here, so we'll start off showing Trenton's car. There he is. outside front row for Trenton.
Oh, good luck and God help us all.
Good luck and God help us all is probably the perfect opener for the Bristol 120 laps in the ARCA car. The noses of these cars get up underneath the car in front and send them around easily, so could be for...
Welcome to the iPacing 150 at Bristol.
It's 120.
Hopefully you all have a nice time pacing, because I know I will. Woo!
I don't know why they keep saying 150, it's 120. But their point remains. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. Getting nice and close on the 8. It's the 89 of Lucas Hoitzman. See, extra little 9 there, mixing the 89. Trenton Sneed starts second in the 81 Treyon Sneed Tombstone Game Farm Pontiac. Wes Parker, Fort Worth Chevy starts third. Tyler Lane and Toyota starts in fourth. Dominic Lee starts in the 5th spot. Griffin Jones 6th. Mike Edwards will roll off 7th. Jay Schaefer starts 8th. Andrew Hayes rolls off 9th. Ethan Evers in 10th. Blake Roebuck 11th. Zach Margison starts in 12th. Dustin Eaton 13th. Rafael Vieira 14th. Dylan Dreiling 15th. Mark Kincaid 16th. Ian Montrose 17th. And blinks out. Chris Allgaier 18th. Clapper Newell 19th. Kyle Heckert in 20th. Daniel Llewellyn 21st. Kyle Dean 22nd. Adam Crozier 23rd. Trey Boy not shown on track. Going to start from the pits. Kelly Hyatt rolls off 25th. Jack Painter 26th. Deep in the field for Jack Painter, who's a very good short track racer. Nick Hammer 27th. Alex Relling 29th. Adam Thompson 30th. Cody Cleaver 31st. J.R. Deal 32nd. Afton Sloan. Corey Lavallo. Jason Palmer. E.J. Johnson. There they go. And Matthew Minnick. Big field. Big field. You're hearing all the God help us alls, and you're gonna need all the help you can get today. Pace car makes the abrupt left down the front stretch pit road. We are back underway. Timing and scoring all out of sorts. Green flags in the air. The 8 of 89 of Lucas Hoitzman. Already asking for black leaders. Trenton Sneed gets turned by Tyler Lane at the front of the field. Let's see how many people miss him. Oh my gosh, he gets his rear clipped. Oh man.
Sorry, 96. I tried to stay out of there, bud.
Trenton Sneed at the very front of the field going around. I know that's going to disappoint a lot of Trenton fans.
Thank you for not killing me, Dom.
I think I'm dead.
See it again. Yeah, Lanin gets up underneath the 81. Turns it around. As I was saying earlier, the back bumpers of these cars are a little bit higher in the air. It's the nose of these cars. Easy to lift up the back tires.
I bumped and my phone hit the wall.
Goes Trenton.
Yeah, the bumped you a little bit, but I was on the brake. I'm gonna believe that. But I didn't dent your back or anything. If you
Well, the 30 got sent Roebuck. Somebody gets in the back of Roebuck, sends him to the inside. Looks like the 96 of Vieira sends the 30 to the
How's
inside.
my nose looking?
Jack Painter looks like he made it through. I don't know if it's one person, Corey. Trenton limping around on the pit road here. Quite a bit of rear end damage to the 81. Does take his fast repair, so on lap 5, Trenton Sneed already burning the fast repair. Tough bake for Trenton. Started on the front row. Not going to be there any longer.
The 64 in the back of the 81, triggering the wreck. All the wreck behind just a short track, backing up to the caution, so the 64 with the yellow.
Siler Lane getting a penalty for that wreck. Going to be sent to the back of the field.
Yeah, let the 8 5. I don't know where they're at.
And rolling pit road. Wow, tires going on the 64. Did not expect that. Lap 6, set of tires for the 64. See, the drivers were stopped waiting for pit road exit to open.
Yeah.
Would you like to come to me and Lucas's channel and spend time with us?
Go. That's. Edward's doing something if I have a pick up for that. I may park it depending on how the restart goes.
Yeah, he's a cool kid.
I'm a nomad.
Corey, you jumped in there to join him.
Just wait. Let the car go off.
The pace car's still out.
Use the restart zone. Jesus Christ. I got a possibly could have gotten a black flag.
The pace car vanished and then it said second caution.
Black flag, yellow.
What is happening? iRacing is really just suddenly crapped the bed.
Someone stole the pace car.
The pace car has vanished.
Who's the first?
I like how everybody
There's a pace car.
It's like, oh, hold on a second.
Let's go get him.
I'm like, oh, no,
Word with Lucas and try to figure out what the hell just happened.
Alright, that was a good practice start, guys. Next time we got this, alright?
Lucas DG, got a copy?
Hey,
Yeah.
make it like
That was
Dude, you got
insane. What in the world just happened from your point of view behind the race wheel?
The green lights came on, caution was gone, but the pace car was still on track. So a lot of people stayed where they were, which was good, but I think a few didn't realize what was happening. I almost went.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw the pace car the whole time. Never saw it go green, but did see it pop up and say second caution. So that was really confusing.
Yeah, it went green on the backstretch coming out of 2.
Did some people not get a wave around and they just took it anyway?
I'm
Maybe.
not really sure what my was doing.
Yeah, when you
There
do
were
that,
wave arounds.
When you do that, then it sets the green flag out.
Yeah, it confused me. I hit the gas and I was like, wait, we're on the backstretch.
The problem is.
Yeah, if you're going to do that wave run, you have to do it before 1 to go. If you do it at 1 to go, it sends the green flag out. So that's what
Hey,
happened.
money, how
Yeah.
my car?
Crazy. Well, that's interesting.
Shaking it up even more. Already a crazy race.
Yeah, Bristol, you're 10 laps into a 120 lap race. Things are already going all to hell. Your outside pole sitter has been turned and sent off into the depths of hell. How do you feel like
Bristol,
your
baby.
chances of staying up front here in that Dale Jr. scheme?
Well, with how it's
I
going,
lost
I don't think there's
position
any way
to
someone can pass me if these yellows keep coming out. So, I don't know, if we get a green flag run, these guys are pretty fast, so I don't know if I'm able to hold on to this lead too long.
Talk to you?
Now, did you learn anything from Giglio? Are you trying to go the entire race on 1 tank of fuel?
That's the goal, always.
10-4. All right, bud. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Lucas Weissman leads in the 89.
I want to apologize
Head
to
of
anybody tonight. Just
Wes Parker down at lead, Mike
of
Edwards.
iRacing updates and not much practice. I'll stay in the back.
That sounds exciting.
The irony is the back is the front within 5 laps of this track.
Matthew Minnick in the 20.
True.
Chega Boy in the
Excuse
18.
me, sir.
Trent Sneed a
That we can
lap
get 5
down.
laps on this track? How dare you?
33rd. Roebuck 2 laps down in the 30.
Oh, with thinking like that.
Roebuck's had a
Yeah,
rough
we
start
never
to
will,
his
but
Sidewinder
Not really
season
cool.
7. Kincaid, another one. Just snake bitten with the luck so far this season. Kincaid 35th.
It
Showing
does
5
get ready,
laps down.
so it might go green again. Either way. I'm not going green on the backstretch.
Field rolling through 3 and 4. We are now 10% of the way through the race, Waddy. You excited? Lucas Hoitzman, the 8 gets us restarted.
It just gave me a black flag for a jump start.
Wes Parker definitely did not jump this
I
start.
didn't really jump it. He's still ahead of me. That's a good jump.
Dominic Lee is 3rd. Mike Edwards 4th. Griffin Jones, Ethan Evers. Man, I'm going to get it right one day.
I'm in the chase here. No, yeah. Right, you roll.
There, Reagan. Dude, it's Heckert. Oh my gosh, big calamity. The 11, the 23, 39, 12, 54.
Hold on.
Coming in there very late is the 20 of Matthew Minnick. Just smashing his way through. The 91 up and over. Oh my gosh.
Big parking lot.
That was crazy.
You just check up that stretch.
It's a black car really broken in the front.
Sorry guys, I got really loose and
Oh
never
my gosh.
corrected it, shot back up. That's 100% on me.
20 just comes into a parking lot and has nowhere to go. 91 goes up and over. Good gracious. Let's see. Let's pick out a number and try to watch from there.
I had him locked up trying to miss you. I'm sorry.
Let's watch Thompson. Is that Heckert? Looks like Heckert in the 12 may have started off this one. Self-spin wiping out a ton of people. Heckert coming off of 4 there just fine. Gets down into 1 and 2. Goes around in 1 and 2. And then everyone around tries to avoid. They start wrecking. 12 comes back up on track. Track blocker. Trent Sneed smashes his way through the 20.
You're supposed to be
Very late to the party. Matthew Minnick smashing in there. See the 39, 23, Tyler Lane in the 64. 01 Corey Lavallo.
That was Hey Daniel, how come I
He's doing well here and stuff. That's what happens when people don't check up her right.
So that was Bristol.
It's only bad. It's just like kind of, you know, looks like a U shape a little bit, but not bad.
U-shape.
During the false start, everyone but the center, I got absolutely railed, and I've already had to use my quick repair, so I'm just gonna see what my odds are.
You still got a fat ass. I'd still hit it.
Whoa, they're children present. I am children.
Oh, sorry, you two.
Yeah, Mikey's too young to hear that.
See if we can get a word from Trenton. Trenton's been involved in both yellows so far. Trenton, what have you done to piss off the racing gods tonight?
I have no idea. Right now I'm trying to let the 39 by wherever that individual is because I'm a lucky dog.
2 cars back.
It's a Monday, DG. It's a Monday.
All ARCA races are Monday.
Now I got the 62 by. I might need a black clear. For the love of God.
There's
But yeah,
62.
I don't think you've ever heard me rage, but I have screamed my absolute face off. I went from second to getting rear-ended to having to use a quick repair. Then what was that false start? What did that look like from your point of view?
I just saw the pace car riding around, and all of a sudden it just said second caution.
It gave a full green.
All right, we're going back racing. Good luck.
Thank you.
Lucas Hoitzman gets us restarted. Wes Parker, Dominic Lee, Mike Edwards, Griffin Jones, your top 5. See the 96 Fiera down there. Let's kind of watch mid-pack. See 2 distinct lines, one out by the wall, the other down low by the concrete asphalt combination. There's a lot of blinking going on right there. I think that was the 43 of Alkire, blinking in and out. Hoytson out front. Parker, Lee, and Edwards. Then Evers, your top 5, as Jones has fallen to 6th. I see Hoytson and Parker running kind of low. And you see those 2 Gamer Advantage Toyotas running up high.
Oh boy, you're bringing my something to
Evers looking for a way around the 98. Caution is out.
Jack, I wasn't trying to block it there, man. I was trying not to die, dude. I thought I was going to lose it.
No, you're all good. You're all good. We're fine.
Llewellyn has some damage here.
I almost took it. Oh, man. Don't do out of me.
Look how crazy straight up and down that is. Catch a tail end of it, just see Llewellyn up against the wall.
I'll try to be better.
Let me tell you, life is crazy at the back of these fields. When you get a large count at a Bristol track, it's insane. Edwards and Llewellyn having a little fun. Lucas still leads. Wesley in second.
After review, the 23 self-spun, and no one was collected, no penalty given.
There you go. Self-spin by the 23. What's in the draft? A podcast. In the draft podcast. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll give you a little extra information on it. Maybe more than 2 seconds. I'm not that fast. That's why I broadcast.
Don't worry. I've done this on Xbox. That doesn't worry me at all.
Isn't that great? There's a car in the field that says that on the back.
Oh, I'm just reading Andrew's bumper sticker.
Word document log
11,
there it is.
Wondering what actually happened there.
Alright, the topics for the In the Draft podcast, which is coming soon, shows our first air date is going to be around September 16th, so within a week we should be hearing something. Matthew Minnick and Seth Fordham are your hosts. Should be on Google and Apple podcast platforms. Be centered around NASCAR, Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series racing, plus the iRacing scene. Include interviews with drivers and others from the top 3 series of NASCAR and driver and team owners and league owners from the world of iRacing. They have giveaways, contests, other surprises, NASCAR Fantasy League for 2023, other plans to expand sponsorships within iRacing, and sponsoring charity races and other events. So there you go. That is a little bit on In the Draft podcast from the source themselves, Matthew Minnick. Minnick in the 20, out there on track tonight. Yeah, if you have to miss one, this one's probably not the worst. Probably not the worst. The good news is, even under caution, the laps go by at 47 seconds. It could be, yes, 3 times faster, but it's not yellow flag laps at like Daytona or road course. That's how I am about Martinsville, Bill. I love the track, don't like having other cars on it with me. Although spins Friday won't trigger caution. I mean, if you turn cautions off. Lights are out on our pace cars. We work our way down into turn 3. I believe it's 3. They look the same. But see the blue line? That means it's 3. 3 and 4. I've had some great truck races here. Just get the high line rolling, it's a good time. These cars are very difficult to line up though. As Hoytsma gets this restarted, Barney throws the green flag in the air. Lucas takes off as he usually does. Wes Parker in second, Mike Edwards third, Dominic Lee fourth, Ethan Evers fifth, Griffin Jones sixth. Margison and Hayes behind them. The battle continues between Evers and Jones. Jones gets to the high side. Evers out of shape coming off the corner. Have to give up the spot. Someone's riding the wall. It's action a little further back. 6 of Schaefer, the 64 of Lanen, 97 of Painter. Painter trying to methodically work his way towards the front. Didn't get his qualifying in. Started towards the back. As Lanen comes off kind of sideways. Gives Dustin Eaton a scare, but Eaton stays in the gas, takes the spot. See a lot of these cars sliding off turn 4. Trying to put the power down, not being able to do it. Trailing in the 83. Got his Buick up into the 9th spot. Ahead him, the 73 Andrew Hayes. Margerson's gotten away from him. Now Margerson 7th by himself. Evers 6th. Jones up into the top 5. Dominic Lee 4th. And there's Edwards, Parker, and Hoytsman. From there we go to the back of the field. There's Alkire 6 laps down. Thompson 5 laps down. Someone just said you're a hack. Nice little Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman chat. Aaron spins. Caution is out. I didn't see who it was. So maybe Lavallo? Lavallo's in the pits.
You're a bad man. There's no need to go off. I'm not doing anything against you.
Pitted, so it wasn't Lavallo. Maybe race control can give us a number because I don't have anything on my end. Still waiting on word from race control. Comes the field down pit road. Looks like it's time to get some pits going. And this camera wants to go anywhere but pit road.
I don't know.
It's like a mixed bag. Some coming, some staying.
Just for review, the 96 got into the back of the 30, causing the wreck. The 96 will be given to DOL.
There we go. Finally got a number to go back and look for. It's 96 and 30.
Didn't mean to be that high up on the track, EJ. Sorry about that.
Vieria and Roebuck.
Everything's just fine. Sorry guys, I just couldn't talk because there was official business going on.
Official business going on. Well, Roebuck came down off the top of the track. Looked like he got out of shape and came down the track right as Vieira was trying to pass him. So those two then come together. Around goes the 30 of Roebuck.
Is that a close hit?
Yeah, I got the same thing. Field's so dang long. Enjoy.
Your driver's picking up the penalty for not waiting until the pit road entry was open. That will get you a penalty every time. Hoytsman's been busted for that a few times. I can remember having that discussion.
If it was possible, and this game had like hand tracking for VR, this entire damn time I'd have the middle finger out popping on that the entire race.
Trenton. Good stuff. Edwards leads. Lee second. Jones, Evers, Margeson your top 5. Hayes in 6th. Painter in 7th. Dreiling 8th spot. Lanen up to 9th. Cleaver is 10th. J.R. Deal 11th. Ian Montrose 12th. Kyle Dean 13th. Trenton Sneed 14th. Been involved in seems like every caution. Still trying to rebound that machine back up towards the front. Trey Gaboy, Alex Reeling, Kyle Heckert, Jeremy Clapper-Newell, Dustin Eaton, Jay Schaefer, Daniel Llewellyn. Your top 21. Large field at Bristol. We'll kick on the splits here so you can catch the drivers outside the top 20 as well. A couple teammates on that high side. Edwards and Evers. Evers jumps out ahead of Dominic Lee. Doesn't quite clear him. Evers has that preferred high line. Lee gets out of shape going off the corner. Griffin Jones going to look to his inside. He'll let me go back. There it goes. Lee able to clear. Keep an eye on this a wad of machines. Griffin Jones, 83 of Dreiling as the caution comes out. Captain Sloan picked up a 4. Nice. Let's see what happens to Captain Sloan. Disappears. Drink. Disappears again. In summary, we have no idea. No idea what brought this one out. Just there's the end of it. It's like 54 Kincaid in there too. See if we can maybe jump back on the 54.
So after the gave a 6-car self-spun, then it took a while, but eventually a couple of the cars were collected, so 6 will be the
Well, there you go. 6 with the self-spin. Other cars trying to avoid
Lucky
getting
dog going on.
collected. Daniel Llewellyn gets the lucky dog here. Daniel is 22nd. So that will give us 22 cars in the lead lap.
That Ferrari.
La Ferrari. That leaves 1 car 1 lap down, EJ Johnson. Race leader Mike Edwards, 2nd, Ethan Evers, 3rd, Dominic Lee.
Adam in the GTR, I believe.
Barney skipping leg day with all that flag waving. True.
Yeah, me and Adam were both one of those.
Dominic Lee now 3rd, Hayes 4th, Griffin Jones 5th, Dreiling 6th, Margison 7th, Lanin up to the 8th spot, started 4th, Jack Painter fastest in practice but started way back in the back of the field, now up to the 9th spot, Cleaver in 10th. I think the 15 thinks he's an Old Spice car, but he's an Apple car. That's confusing.
You looking first or last with you, Bobby? Chickabee. I want to go fast.
Field having fun under yellow here.
Is excellent.
Let's go give the broadcaster's curse to Mike Edwards, because why not?
I shit suffering.
Michael DG, you got a copy?
Hello.
Let me ask, are you trying to pull the Blake Giglio strategy?
What is that exactly?
Don't pit.
Yeah, I'm gonna pit. Just
I believe that.
I'm gonna pit when more people will pit.
Does not remember seeing Talladega Night.
I don't want to be. I don't even see any of them, the ones who pit in the top 20. So I'm definitely not going back there.
Could be dangerous. Let's see. Tyler Lanin had pit. He's up to 8th.
So he's in the middle of the crap show.
And there's Trenton and Clapper and on back from there has pitted.
Yeah, I think it's too early to be pitting, and still a lot more crashes left.
Well, how's the old Gamer Advantage Toyota feeling out there tonight?
It's a little loose, but me and Ethan are doing some teammate games up here. Controlling the field, so we'll see how long we can manage.
10-4. I know the 98's a big fan of those teammate games, so you guys have fun.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Alright, but good luck.
Thank you.
Mike Edwards in the 14, Ethan Evers in the 26. Proud team owner moment right there. He gives a tap to the back of the 14. Lee going to try to slide up behind Edwards, or is he going to try to go to his inside? Lee had the opportunity to jump to the high side and protect his position, but he's got thoughts of going for the race lead here. He works to the inside of the 14 of Edwards. Now I think he'll slide up behind the 14, take the tie line, protect his second place. There he goes. Top 3 single out. We got 4th place Griffin Jones, 73 of Andrew Hayes. Hayes comes off the corner sideways. Jack Painter making his way up towards the front, and we are back under yellow. Almost had a race there. Trying to find who maybe stopped on track.
Okay.
Valo running low in the 01.
Where did you go?
Looks like he was coming up pit
I
road.
think I missed the wheel. Tow it.
The 89 of
Put it on the
Hoytsman.
record or take it home.
Blake Roebuck up against the wall. Damage to Hoytsma. How did Roebuck get on the wall? Oh my gosh.
I think it was the Gladiator stuff. I was wondering if they met.
Well, the wreck was up ahead, 42 reeling. Saw the 89 of Hoytsma going into it. See if we can jump on with the 42 of reeling here. Oh, the 69, Rafael Vieira. Second contact from the 69 car.
Lucky dog outside.
Causes a huge wreck. Reeling goes underneath Vieira. And boom, right into the back as he comes up the track. Collects the 89 of Hoytsma,
And
62.
welcome back to the iPacing 120 at Bristol.
See the 43 of ARCA getting involved. Well, Edwards was right about that. Caution quickly coming back out.
Well, that's a permanent drift there, 30.
Let's go to our in-car report, Daniel Llewellyn.
Apparently Llewellyn has nothing to say.
It's for fucking up my race 96.
Wow.
Fucking one.
All the anger.
I'm sorry I got it.
You ain't the only one, brother.
Fast enough you slid down in front of me on that wreck.
People were talking at the same time.
This one's really just a racing incident. The 42 kind of flags up in front of 69. Looks like 69 maybe tries to go under. Two cars kind of come together. So we're just going to rule this one a racing incident.
So no penalty. Silverstone will be the opposite of this. No yellows. Then people will be complaining, there's no yellow. Can't make people happy.
Top here, Mikey.
Yeah, top.
That's what she said. I mean, that's what she will be doing tonight, though.
Race leader Mike Edwards taking the top. Daniel, CG, you got a copy?
Hey, oops.
Hi. I just wanted to come say hello and see how things are going as you're getting ready for the restart here, because I know you don't mind if I talk while it's green.
No, it's been brutal back here. Trying to dodge everything.
How's the dodging going? Is it, you getting better at it?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it. I think I've practiced. You know, I got to do something. You know, I don't win, so I got to do something.
I mean, I don't win. That's why I'm broadcasting.
Yeah, so I'll just keep practicing dodging here.
Well, hopefully that goes well for you, and you can get that Labor 12 machine up towards the front tonight.
Oh shit, wrong button. Yeah, I'm trying to get back up there.
There's too many buttons to talk. I can't handle this. All right, buddy.
Yeah, no, I keep hitting the other button.
Good luck.
Later, bro.
Daniel Llewellyn in the 23. I know he doesn't mind when we chat with him. He's down there in 20th, trying to make the best of the night. Edwards has broken out to the lead over Dominic Lee and the 53 of Griffin Jones. Tyler Lane and Jack Painter, your new top 5. Margis in 6th, and Ethan Evers falling back after restarting in the 3rd spot. That inside lane, not ideal for the restarts. It's okay if you're in 2nd, but if you're in 3rd, he will slide on back. Yeller is out. Llewellyn is speaking, sounded, I don't know, East Asian,
Man,
maybe.
open your eyes.
More anger. Oh man, look at this. Cars every which way. See Heckert.
Parking lot. I'm sure.
As the leaders try to come through, while cars are backing up. Oh my.
Somebody, I'm sorry. Somebody pulled me slow down out in front of me.
Dodging Queen.
Let's see. 18.
Record, I just
Good boy. The 12 of Heckert. 18 gets down on the apron, loses it, comes up into the 3 of Dustin Eaton and the 12 of Kyle Heckert. Llewellyn gets through. 39 gets a piece there. 12 flips up and over as Reeling gets involved. 91 EJ Johnson in there again. There's the 54 of Kincaid. Watch the 01 Lavallo back right into traffic. Hits the 26. No idea what the 01.
On sideways, the 12 gets into him. Causing the wreck. The 18 will get EOL.
0-1 just back right across the track. Bam! That is the lead pack coming through. All these cars trying to swerve around these wrecked race cars. Man, oh man. JRDO, the plain white 9 there. Margerson, the 55. Tough sledding. Yeah, made it to halfway. Edwards still not hitting pit road. Dominic Lee second, Griffin Jones third, Tyler Lane in fourth, Jack Painter up to fifth, Ethan Evers sixth, getting tagged by a wrecked race car. JR Deal up to seventh. Go ahead, JR. Ian Montrose eighth, Cody Cleaver ninth, Dylan Dreiling in 10th, Trenton Sneed 11th, Wes Parker's 12th, Clapper Newell 13th, Hoisma up to 14th after he used his fast repair. EJ Johnson, saw him involved in that wreck. EJ is 15th, Margison 16th, Andrew Hayes 17th, Kyle Dean 18th, and Daniel Wallet 19th and final car on the lead lap. See left side damage to that Labor 12 Pontiac. Got some rear end damage too. Top 20 and on the lead lap, that's what's important. Jay Schaefer, first car off the lead lap to Keystone Light Chevy, is 20th. 3 Dustin Eaton, lap down his orangutan number 3. Trey Boy rides in 22nd. Also 1 lap down. 2 laps down, the 42 Alex Reeling. See him on pit road there. He may be going further down. That machine not looking up to par at the moment.
18, you gotta get up here, brother.
It's 96 cars, 3 laps down. He's caused multiple wrecks.
Okay, no.
Here goes Kincaid getting the wave around.
Hi.
I see. Are we gonna make moon car?
Oh god, moon car.
Not without instructions.
Pace car is off.
I'm literally trying to tell the people I'm trying to pass them, you know, just keep telling. We got 5 laps and 18.
Always something different.
Mike Evers in the 14 jumps out to the lead on the restart. Dominic Lee, Tyler Lanen now battle side by side for second as Lanen gets one heck of a run. Running off that top side. Lee gets sideways in the 98. That's going to give Lanen position here. Lanen then dives to the bottom to get the inside of Edwards, but loses his momentum. Edwards leads over Lanen, Lee, Evers, Painter. And then Griffin Jones, Montrose, Wes Parker. Parker's starting to make his way back towards the front, up to the 8th spot now. Parker, a local here, from that Bristol, Tennessee area. Up to the 7th spot now as he gets by Ian Montrose running the bottom there. Not seeing too many cars make hay at the bottom, so that's good to see.
Good save. I tried to check out.
Uh-oh. Ethan Evers blinked out a little bit there. Painter in the 97 trying to find a way by. Painter gets to the inside of the 26. We'll dive it down low. Evers keeps the momentum on the high side, hangs on the 4th. Lane and Lee battle for second. Edwards is pulled away a bit. Lehnan and Lee continue to battle. Then you have Evers and Painter battling. Then you have Jones and Parker battling. So a lot of 2-car battles behind our leader. Now we're trying to make it a 6-car battle for 1 spot. Parker gets the inside of Griffin Jones and sets sail after Painter and Evers. Lee gets the inside of Lehnan. Been down there a few times, just can't get the momentum off the corner to hang. Mustang Toyota battle.
Off the wall, Jack!
Parker telling Jack in the 97 to stay off the wall. Evers want to drop back there. Now Painter and Parker, 4th and 5th. And they're watching this battle side by side for a second with Lee and Lehnan.
Fuck my car up.
Uh-oh, Llewellyn was not avoiding this one. Here come the leaders. Mike Edwards barely skates through.
JR, I thought we were buddies.
Edwards with the scare there. Let's see if we can see what happens to Llewellyn. He's already around. Looks like Kincaid was there in the vicinity, but I can't tell you what happened on the contact. We're getting new internet Wednesday, by the way, which is supposed to help with this sort of drawing number of cars thing.
Ian, Griffin says he's sorry for checking up there. He was just trying to make a gap and just kind of had to get on the brakes there.
Yeah, that's the 54 of Kincaid that was right behind Llewellyn, but no idea what happened.
Okay.
We'll have to wait for race control to let us know on that one. Edwards comes to pit road, brings Lehnan with him, and Lee, and Painter, and Parker, top 5, all hitting pit road.
After review, the 18 cars were in the wall, and came off the wall right in front of the 23 cars in the wreck. The 18 will get the penalty. This will be a black flag, second penalty.
There you go. The 8 of Lucas Hoytsma stays out here. He will take over the race lead. Margison will be 2nd. Hayes will be 3rd, Andrew Hayes. Kyle Dean up to the 4th spot. Clapper Newell take over 5th. EJ Johnson 6th. As some cars are bidding for the first time. About 40 laps to go when we get the restart. Things will get interesting. We'll see if tires matter all that much. They do matter some, but they're going to have to make up some ground. See, Dustin Eaton has 16 laps on his tires. Lucas Hoytsma has the oldest tires out there, 27 laps on his.
You need to go over with, please.
Margison 16, Hayes 16, Kyle Dean 17, Dustin Eaton 17. All those cars staying out here. Mike Edwards with the 4 fresh tires. Looks like he's going to restart about 6th. Like with Eaton dropping back, he will restart 5th. There is the 4 cars he would need to pass to get back to the race lead. Hoytsma, Margison, Hayes, and Kyle Dean.
Lucas, first the playoff. Yeah.
Tonight I'm Dale Jr.
Dale Jr. So Edwards in the 5th spot, Lehnan 6th, Parker 7th, Painter 8th, Dominic Lee 9th, Ethan Evers 10th. Those 6 cars all on fresh, I want to say Goodyear, but they're not Goodyear, they're General tires. 4 fresh tires. So will that about 15 laps matter? We're set to find out. Pace car heads on off.
He just took over the
40 laps to go. Lucas Hoytsma gets a great jump in the 873 of Andrew Hayes, gets alongside Zach Margison. Oh, Lehnan gets into Edwards, turns him out into the outside wall. Parker involved, and the wreck is on. We have a huge stack up. All those cars that just took tires getting collected at the same time. All started when Edwards got turned into the outside wall.
Checking up on the next stretch.
Tyler Lanin, 64, gets into Mike Edwards' right rear tire.
I can't win to lose here.
Laning gets loose.
Yeah, that's all I mean. Just
Comes down into the 14, and here goes the entire field behind him.
Yeah, shit, man. I tell you. I was all locked in.
Now Lanin losing it. Coming out of turn 4, drifting down into Edwards, turns him head on into the outside wall.
Not seeing any major damage.
See if we can ride on board the 64.
Thank you.
64's dog walking out there.
Mark, how's my nose?
Let's jump in cockpit view. See, out of shape, gets into Edwards. Had the wheel completely turned to the right, and still drifted left.
Might be a little wrinkled, but it ain't too bad.
Oh. Llewellyn coming in there late. Let's try to see if we can see how Llewellyn gets in there late. This is the 23. Try to find him on the sheets. Big track blocker up ahead. He's trying to slow down. Bam! Very squarely hits the 64 car.
After review, the 64 got loose and got into the 14, causing the pileup. If this is the second penalty, it'll be a drive-through for the 64.
So Tyler Lanin picking up the drive-through after getting loose there. That's why you parked the part at the end. Hoytsma, Margison, Hayes, Sneed. I believe this puts Sneed as the fresh tires towards the front car now. After all that unfolded around him, Trenton comes out other side of the tunnel looking like a whole new man. Trenton in the 4th spot. Cleaver now 5th. Cleaver fresh off a truck win last week. Clapper Newell 6th. EJ Johnson. We've seen that car flipped over. He's up in 7th. Wes Parker now in 8th. Ian Montrose 9th. And JR Deal is 10th.
Why are the people who pitted passing everybody? Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again, man. I don't know. It's telling me to, and it's telling me to stay behind here.
So apparently, timing and scoring issues once again. iRacing struggling tonight at Bristol.
It's still telling me to go past the car on this stuff.
Well, less than 40 to go.
Where's 20 says you need to
Field's trying to sort out what they're supposed to do or not supposed to do. Is it's
What iRacing is, so it doesn't black flag. If it does black flag, if you're doing what it says, we'll have a clearance.
there you go, iRacing telling people to move. Looks like we have 18 on the lead lap. 6 of Jay Schaefer, the Keystone Light car, 19th, 1 lap down.
39
Gets itself sorted. See if we can grab a quick word with our race leader. I know Lucas won't mind. I'll be quick about it. If I can find the voice, there it is. Lucas SDG, you got time for a real quick chat?
Yep.
Well, A lot of wrecks going on. You've been in some, avoided some others. How we feeling out there?
Focus again, Lucas.
Just feeling like I gotta keep the lead. I'm on these old tires. Figured I didn't want to lose track position again, so that's what I'm doing out here. And I hope for another yellow.
10-4. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Nice quick interview there with the 89 Lucas Hoytsma. Dale Jr. skiing.
Thanks, everybody.
Pace car dives on off. Hoytsma gets us restarted on those a little bit older tires. Margison slipping back into the grasp of Hayes. Hayes down low. Margison going to use a high run to get the run off the corner and hold on to position. Caution is back out. Trying to jump back. See why?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, no, it's time door. Breaking, but it was too late.
Don't know who was involved there. Oh, there goes Sloan and Lavallo, 01 and 39. Looks like Jay gets into the back of him on the restart in the 6.
You tried to jump, I started. Could you clear that? Because I didn't.
Oh, man. Big stack up on that outside lane. Looks like people were rolling a little too early.
Look out, going high.
Daniel.
And the see you, bud.
Let's watch this outside line. See where the stack up begins. It's like JR starts to roll before Bandio. And people behind JR see that and start going, and then JR checks up for Bandio, and then everyone checks up behind him, checking up for Bandio. The accordion comes together, and the car that got spit out, being the 39 of Sloan.
After review, we check up the outside line that covers the wreck or the meltdown of it.
Sloan trying to stay out of it, 6 trying to stay out of it, 01 just trying to avoid the 39 coming down, gets into the wall on his own. Rough restart there. That's why you don't go before the car in front of you, because then you have to slam on brakes and all hell gets stacked up. Who else can we chat with? Is Andrew hanging out somewhere? See if I can find Andrew. I don't see Andrew.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
Hello.
I wasn't brake checking you, I go brake check.
Let's go chat with Cody. Cody, DG, you got a copy? Cody, you're muted. I unmuted you. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you're fresh off that truck win. You're riding up here in a 3rd spot in the ARCA race now. How's it feeling? Got that big momentum headed your way?
I mean, it feels pretty good. I will admit I've definitely gotten a little bit fortunate with some of these things where I've gotten into people but not really had any damage. So, I mean, off the truck win feels good. Let's see if I can ride the wave.
10-4. You got any shout-outs for your Blockbuster team while you're here, just to give them a laugh?
Yeah. I mean, we're having a grand old time in the chat right now. So yeah, shout out to Ian, Jeremy, Mikey, and Ryan are in there hanging out too. So yeah, let's go, guys.
That's what we're supposed to do. Have some fun. That's what it's all about. Appreciate you, bud, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you, Gigi.
You call me Gigi. I'm Gigi now. Good game. Pace car's going to dive on off. 26 to go when we get to the line. Not Chi-Chi. Green flag's back in the air. Lucas Hoytsma gets a great jump. Andrew Hayes, 2nd. Trenton Sneed, 3rd. Trenton has those fresher tires. And Wes Parker has the freshest tires in the 22, so there he goes. Parker into the back of Trenton Sneed. The 81 gets sideways. The caution comes out, and I believe that's going to be for something behind this, because that would not have brought out the caution.
Damn it.
Yeah, there's a whole fiasco back here. 91's involved.
Yeah, I did say that.
See how this one unfolds if we can.
5 seconds.
Ian Montrose runs over the 91, collects the 9 of JR Deal, 55, Margison, 30 of Roebuck. He's had a rough race, poor Roebuck. Kincaid sneaks through there in 54.
I got down pit road before the caution, and it's, yeah, it's saying that I still haven't paid the penalty. Great.
So Ian Montrose gets into the back of EJ Johnson. They were in the top 10 when this unfolds.
Jack, how bad is mine?
Ian Montrose straight into the back of the 91. Around goes the 91.
Rears a little crinkle, but
Man.
it's not.
So we saw this happening behind the deal with Trenton Sneed.
Alright, sounds good.
I believe Trenton's going to be okay here.
I got that spot clear. I was in pit road before the caution came out. It said that I guess, or maybe it has to be fully green. I don't know.
I'll review it. The incident was car 22 getting the back of.
That wasn't the incident.
Back of 81, sorry.
That wasn't the incident.
22
It was the fifth Montrose car.
We saved it. The caution came out way before me and him hit.
It was the Montrose car and
the one car going into the
back of the 91.
91. The 91 was super off the gas in the corner.
I mean, that's what you do in a corner.
Confirm that was probably not on 22.
I'm just going to throw it out there since that makes the second person on that. My braking zones are different. For the love of God. Don't run.
That is true. I didn't expect you to break that soon.
The issue is that we haven't risked enough laps green flag to figure it out.
That is also true.
It happened turn 3, lap 1, and it's happened now. For the love of God, don't ride my path.
If you don't ride that booty, you ain't getting that spot.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
Can't blame them for riding your booty.
I have a bumper sticker that I usually say for super late models. It's called Back Off Bumper Humper. My brakes are good. How's your insurance? I wish I had my painter throw it on the back of this thing.
I mean, I know a painter if you need
You
one.
ain't running, you ain't racing. Gotta do a little running, driver. Jack.
Hey, what's it looking like with this drive-through? Because I just want to know.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there with my quality, but I think it's all sorted out now. So,
This is where it's starting to be mud.
I was, can I get confirmation or anything? I was told, I don't know, whatever.
If you got a black flag, serve it. Hoytsman Hayes. Hoytsman gets the great jump on the restart. Hayes under attack from Trenton Sneed. Trenton looking low on Hayes. And we're wrecking.
Y'all suck.
Edwards, Evers, and company.
Jesus.
Clapper is intentionally keeping his wheel turned to pin Michael against the wall there.
How do we have cars left to crash? You are my friend.
Thank you, JR Deal.
See what happens here.
Edward car is having a rough night here. I'm guessing you saw through that, didn't you, JR?
It's like Griffin Jones and the 21 of Clapper Newell come together. A lot going on here. Clapper comes down on a 53, 53 drifts up into the 21. They meet in the middle, and it wipes out quite a few cars again. Daniel Wallen coming to a complete stop. 96 just plows into the 01 well after the wreck.
Hey, Tyler, your rear end is facing right, so you're like skewed to the left.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
My wheel was actually pointing to the infield.
Look at the wall ahead of Lucas.
Yeah, your rear tires are facing the outside wall, and your front ones are facing the left, I believe. I don't know.
Pretty hot, right?
Pretty hot, right?
I need to do that as well. Some drunk. Okay, my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Daniel Wallen now 3 laps down on the 23. Jack Painter currently 13th. Last car in the lead lap. So not many left on the lead lap, but still plenty of cars running the wreck. Edwards must have gotten some meatball here, so he is now 1 lap down. 26 Ethan Evers.
Are you okay?
Back out on track. Looks like he had to use his faster pair. Does anybody have 1 left? Let's find out.
I think you got caught up in that last one.
Okay, we got all kinds going on, stuff going on here. The current
Hayes, Cleaver, Dryling,
came down in front of the 53,
Clapper,
causing the wreck. So the 21 will get the EOL for that. I went back and reviewed the previous caution because there were actually 2 incidents. I do still feel that the 20 chicken in the back of the 95 was not, there was wrecked behind, but it was kind of a separate incident, and then the 15 and 91 came together. There was a little bit of net code there, the 15 and the 19, but I think there would have still been contact, so I'm going to award the 22 and 15 EOLs for the previous yellow and the 21 EOL for this yellow.
Was there a lucky dog under the home?
Daniel, let's go. Go.
Yeah, because you did wave me around.
So the Wallen not getting wave around.
It would have been me. I wasn't around.
Did you get tapped then?
No, I wasn't touch, tap, scrap, nothing.
Number. Wrong number.
So,
What's going on?
I need a clear. You gave me a AUL. Say.
I need a black flag cleared.
Or God Almighty. Just be patient.
64 is still sidetracking.
Sorry, I saw green in my way.
Black flag clear, please.
We're doing a make-believe pace car.
You're gonna have to try that yellow again, I guess. I don't know. Are we going? Okay, we're going now.
I was trying to call it over the radio, but y'all kept talking.
I need a black flag cleared.
Chaos.
I really need a black flag clear because I got UL. Thank you.
Chaos has opened up here in the last 20 laps. Lucas Hoytsman is your leader over Andrew Hayes. Wes Parker is 3rd. Wes Parker is 2nd, going after Lucas Hoytsman. 12 to go. We'll see if Wes can run him down. Wes nearly 30 lap fresher rubber. Actually 32, so yeah. A lot fresher tires on the 22. See if he can run down Hoytsma. There is the gap. Edwards limping around in the 14. Parker trying to run down the 8. Oh, he gets contact with the 20 of Matthew Minnick. Caution comes out. Parker.
Shit. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the later.
We saw that one.
Man, you had your brakes up and let them go, didn't you?
Matt Minnick.
It was around the corner, Jay. Alright, there's no way I could see you. That's what I'm sorry, man.
Oh, yeah, goes up into Lucas Heusman, and around goes the 20th minute. Car drifts down the track right in front of Ethan Evers. 26, nowhere to go, pounds the 20. Rough night for the 20th minute.
I got a little damage, good one left.
Lock dog coming high.
West should have an EOL. He gave out an EOL last caution.
I'm still giving you a tap for a good effort. Because you're right.
Yeah, like Wesley said that he got the EOL mistakenly, but wasn't that for the caution previously from that? Not to be the tablet here, but like, really?
Yeah, it was. I got it in the notes. We'll have to review that. Decided to do that.
Can you check the 22? He didn't take his EOL and something second.
Because I didn't do anything. What are we talking about?
Drummer. He wasn't supposed to get an EOL. It was a mistake, and Bristol tried to correct it, and that's why he ended up taking his spot.
Okay, 10-4, I didn't know.
6 to go.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Is there anything that hasn't happened in this? I'm almost scared to ask, but I ask because that's my job. Crazy, crazy, crazy race at Bristol. A little bit of everything. Reset your top 10. Lucas Heusman, Wes Parker, Andrew Hayes, Trenton Sneed, Dominic Lee, Dustin Eaton, Cody Cleaver, J.R. Deal, Jack Painter, and Ethan Evers. 15 left on the lead lap. We started this race with 35 machines.
Was around me, but I haven't pitted or anything, so you're gonna have to clear blacks.
Yeah, I agree. He just randomly said that, but he hasn't got any oil or anything, so he might have to wait for the blast.
Copy that. You let me know if when you go green, we get flat. The most recent incident was car 20 came up into front of car 89, causing a wreck. Probably given the EOL, but it looks like he hit in the foot, so we'll see.
Is it throwing off the line? 'Cause it's telling me to be on the outside line too.
What?
All the anger. Drivers are going to be happy to be done with Bristol. Typical Bristol. Short track racing.
Yeah, I think this is throwing off a little bit because I think I'm being relegated 2 spots on a restart.
Oh my gosh, it's jumping all the way to the back. Lucas Heusman gets the jump here. Wes Parker struggled in the restart there. Now Andrew Hayes to his inside. Parker's going to get the run off the top though.
I think iRacing had a brain part.
I heard Heusman say he had wheel damage, but... Oh, Hayes is around in the 73. That's going to bring out the caution. Kincaid. Unfortunate. Kincaid has been having a rough season. Gets caught up in that one. Hayes was up towards the front of the field.
55 got to move up the field beyond me because of the issue with the 20.
Dominic Lee, maybe some netcode there.
I'm maybe 2 laps away.
Like
I just went where iRacing told me to go, so that's where I went.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm not debating that.
There it is. Netcode. Rear in its ugly head. Slow it down so you can catch it. Netcode. 98 of Lee goes down to the inside of Hayes. And around goes the 73 without any contact.
After review, the incident was netcode, and it's too much netcode return if it would have been contact otherwise, so there will be no penalty.
That's fucking bullshit, huh? You guys have a good night.
There is more of that Bristol anger.
Have a good one on that too. Damn close up.
Andrew Hayes was up in the top 3.
I'm racing this car like this too, so you better just be ready.
Is that the 3? He's on pit road. Somebody's car is apparently very jacked. Speaking of Jack, Jackson 7th. JR Deal up 7th, excuse me. Painter 6th, JR Deal 7th. 54. Kincaid. Oh my god.
It is past midnight. I'm kidding.
Where? Where is it past midnight?
Could be like the truck race where we started it in the afternoon, went at night, and back.
Oh yeah, that Martinsville race.
There's a
54 is situation is not ideal. Oh, Mikey, you're the series administrator. Do something.
pretty sure he was driving.
Bergamot. Is that a squirrel?
JR.
Sorry, got loose.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, who's blinking? Is that Lee? Lee's blinking. That's that netcode. No wonder why there was netcode contact.
98, you're blinking kind of good right now.
It's gone. What do you mean blinking? 98 is gone.
Yeah. It's me?
The 98 car, third place, blinking. I'm not him.
Very badly. Alright, here we go. A natural, not natural, green-white checker time. Number 1, Hoytsma and Parker. Hoytsma gets the great jump here. Parker trying to hang on a second as Lee gets to his inside. Can we stay green for 2 laps? There's Kincaid driving that dog tracking car down the side. Hear drama in the background, but we got the white flag. White flag is out. Hoytsma, Parker, top 2. The wreck off 4 happened after the white flag, so we stay green.
Nice block, Zach. Thank you.
Lucas Hoytsma gets the victory. Wes Parker second. Dominic Lee is
I
third.
remember that later in the season.
Apparently someone's surprised that Zach Margerson blocks.
Good race, guys.
We saw Hoytsma torn up in this one and hangs one to that track position and makes his way back out front. Hangs one to it at the end when all
Short
the
track racing, that's what I'm going to call that.
drama unfolds.
Just want to rattle in the cage, right?
They're still wrecking. Victory burnouts. Coming at you from Lucas Hoytsma. We get the top 3 to the interview room, por favor. Dominic Lee, Wes Parker, and Lucas Hoytsma. It's a party out there. People are just excited this race is over. They survived the Bristol. DG, you got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, sir, you got it home in the 3rd spot despite all the blinking in and out and crazy stuff happening. How was your night out there tonight?
Yeah, it definitely was up and down. I was having a lot of fun running there in second with Mikey. But their second half of the race, it just kind of went downhill and then kind of came back uphill. And, you know,
went every direction it could on the hill, it sounds like.
Yeah, I hate it for Andrew Hayes though. I mean, I didn't mean to get into him there at the end. I know it was netcode, but you know, he was up there at the end, and I hated that.
Well, you got any friends, family, sponsors, shout outs to give out tonight?
Absolutely. I got to thank Ignite Brewing Company, Roll by Goodyear, App State, Ford, my absolutely stunning, beautiful girlfriend who is laying on the bed back here. You for putting on the broadcast, Mikey for all that he does for the SRL, and all that you do for SRL as well. My team, Forward Bite, and Blake and Alex and everyone over there. Just everyone that helps us out.
Team 4, congrats on your 3rd place finish tonight, and we'll see you in the next race.
I appreciate it.
Dominic Lee in the 98, getting the 3rd spot tonight. And we'll jump 1 spot ahead. 22 of Wes Parker, the local band, bringing it home in 2nd tonight. 222, a lot of synergy there. Sir, how was your night?
It was wonderful. You know, we love having cautions.
I noticed.
16 cautions. That was fun.
I mean, it is Bristol. It's to be expected.
That is true. But overall, it's fun, you know. For anybody that lives like near a racetrack or anything, you like to do your local NASCAR track. So Bristol's always fun to do. Kind of took tires, went to the back, and came back to the front. Only involved in one wreck. One wreck got me, so I almost made it clean through.
And don't worry, I would have been Team 22 and pulling for you and letting them know what happened in that caution because the wreck was behind you guys. I was shocked when he brought up the 22 getting into the 81. I was like, what?
Well, yeah, I did get into him. His breaking point was a little bit different. I didn't expect it, so I
sure,
apologize
that
to
did
him
happen.
for that.
But
yeah.
That's not why the caution came out.
Yeah, and then I was like getting a black, like ELL. I got ELL twice, I think, or like a couple cautions before they randomly gave me one. I was like, what did I do? Like, but I just kept the spot and they cleared it and stuff. So the restart zone too is kind of like twitchy because like I felt like I hit the gas before Lucas did, like barely, and it still gave me a black flag, but he was still ahead of me like 2 or 3 car lengths, and I'm like, well, that ain't cool.
Yeah, but you went first.
Yeah, like
that's the letter of the law. You can't go first.
But he still went ahead. I mean,
doesn't matter. You still went first. You can't go first.
I don't know. But I mean, you can't. I don't know. Like, you want to be side by side with them going, but like if they're ahead, I mean, it's kind of hard because you got to play catch up.
It's like drag racing. If you wait for the green, you're behind.
Yeah.
You got to go on yellow. But you got to time it just right, and if you miss it by a hair, you're getting the DQ. You know what I mean? So it's just much like drag racing on the start of these races.
Yeah, you're right. So, but no, it was fun to come, you know, run ARCA and stuff. I didn't do it last year, but the season before, I did a couple of races. You know, I like enjoy doing some other stuff here and there whenever I get the time and stuff. So. And plus, it was Bristol. I couldn't say no, so I wanted to do it.
Well, I will say this: it had less cautions than our kids' race here.
That is true. I don't even think we had more than like 4 or 5 laps. But you can thank Autumn that. That was her idea, not my idea.
It was fun though. I enjoyed it.
I just ran it for the money.
In it for the money. Oh, you got those. Speaking of money, you got those friends, family sponsor shout outs to give out to us. Speaking of Autumn as well.
Yeah, you know, Autumn. Sorry, they're talking. I would like to thank Autumn, you know, for today hanging out and stuff. And, you know, she loves watching the stream and everything and watching the races because that's what she likes. Her family has a lot of deep history of racing in the family. So shout out to her. You know, shout out to Fort Worth. Shout out to John for I heard that he got a top 10.
Top 10 at Kansas. Heck yeah.
So that is awesome. You know, shout out to him, you know, getting that good top 10 there. You know, Cookout. We like Cookout. If you know, if you're in the Carolinas, yeah, southern area states. And you know, shout out to you, DG. It's always good to talk to you.
Appreciate it, Wes. Congrats on your 2nd place tonight in the home track. And Clint Roberts and I both have the same suggestion for you next week.
Get rid of Chevy.
One of them.
Okay. Yeah.
The double bow tie.
Somebody fixed it for me, and I just haven't had time to do it yet. I don't know. I don't have the patience to do paintings and stuff. Like, I could give you ideas, but I just don't have the patience in making it.
I mean, they're relatively easy. It's not that bad, but you know, it does come with practice, that's for sure. All right,
yeah,
bud.
my attention span's not long.
Well, I'm ADHD and make it work, but ADHD,
Yeah.
much against the typical thing, is actually you get hyper-focused less than the more sporadic thing. So you actually kind of tune out everything and get very focused. It's interesting. You should try it.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Congrats once again. Hope you have a fantastic night, and we appreciate you, bud.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Wes Parker in the 22 says he's going to run an Xfinity race tomorrow night. Now let's go grab the big shot. Mr. Dale Jr. getting the victory tonight. How you feeling out there in that 89 machine?
Hell yeah, it's Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol, baby. You won the Bristol night race. You know, we picked you, both of us, Waddy and I, picked you to win this race, and you did not disappoint.
I almost did. My car almost did.
Yeah, you got tagged by
she
a lap
held on.
car there. That had to scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, scared me when Clint came over the radio and said I had wheel damage. I'm like, oh boy, here it is.
Oh no. Well, it looks like he survived that, and you got to do the burnouts and held off the field. All those restarts worked out for you, and you never had to go too long on your old sets of tires. And the only real big scare really was that lap machine, and man, able to hang on to it there in the number 8 machine, which we're going to call it, even though it's 89. And you got to do your burnouts and all that. How much fun was it out there? I know it was a lot of yellow flags, but when it was green and winning, how fun was it?
You know, for the few like 5 or 10 lap runs we had, it was a ton of fun to drive, and we probably would have seen a really good race had this gone green. That's tough, I know, especially with like a 35 car field, but man, you know, sometimes we just need a little patience. You know, it goes a long way. But you know, either way, it was still pretty fun at the end.
Yeah, you were able to keep your car mostly clean after the fast repair, coming back up through the field. So yeah, it seemed you were pretty fortunate there. A lot going on back towards the back part of the field, but you, like I said, kept it clean coming back towards the front. And then when everyone pitted and the seas just parted, you took your strategy to the front, and nobody else was able to recover as they all crashed behind you right on that restart. That was wild.
Yeah. When I looked back and I saw 3 cars behind me, I'm like, oh, what happened? Gotta look at the broadcast.
Yeah. Laney got loose coming off of 4, took out Edwards, and they were the first 2 cars on fresh tires, and everyone with fresh tires behind piled into it. It was crazy. So perfect strategy for you. Just worked out like optimally.
I don't know how we still had more than 5 cars driving. I probably saw like 10 big ones back there. I don't.
It's Bristol. You don't hit. I mean, some people would hit really hard, but a lot of the times you're like in the process of slowing down, so the hits aren't that hard, and the damage model is going to allow you to keep going.
These cars are tanks. Got to say that. Props
A little
to
bit.
iRacing.
Although they can also just touch the wall and break a wheel and get a meatball, so you never know.
Yeah, they're a gamble every time you get on track.
Exactly. All right, you got those friends, family, and sponsor shout-outs to give out to us tonight?
I just want to thank the guys at Budweiser and, down there at DEI, the boys back in the shop, building the cars. This 89 machine was fast all night. Just got to thank them boys. Thanks to everybody who put this thing on. And, yeah, that's about it.
All right, I got a challenge for you. You ready?
Yep.
It's super easy, and you're probably going to kick yourself for not having thought to do it already. I want you to go in on this paint, leave everything else the same, take Dave Matthews off, and put Labor 12.
Oh, that's genius. Yes.
Right? And then bring this car back next week.
I don't even listen to Dave Matthews.
That's why I'm wondering, like, why did you have Dave Matthews when you could have had Labor 12?
I don't know. Screw the replica. I don't know why I even...
Replicate it, but your way. Put Labor 12 on that thing. Be beautiful.
I also looked back and realized that the 8 was available, so that was kind of pointless, but...
Yeah, Ethan Evers running the 26 this season. The 8's just sitting there.
Oh, well, 2 hours down the drain. It's all good.
Just to put a 9.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Congrats on the victory tonight. We appreciate you, Mr. Former Champ, and just about everything we run. Got to go for the title in the sprint cars and in the 87s, and then you'll pretty much have all of them, won't you?
Yeah, it's close to it. I like to spread them out.
Show off. Good in everything. It's like Tony Stewart over here or something.
Oh, yeah.
All right, bud. Congrats on the victory tonight. We'll catch you in the next race. We appreciate you.
Thanks, man. See ya.
What do you want?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. I didn't actually think you'd pull me.
Surprise, mother effer.
Well, how was that from your end? How entertaining was that? I'm sure from your end that must have been the best race ever to watch.
I mean, I had to do a lot of talking because there was a lot of caution. So, you know,
I bet.
you going from back to the front a couple times was entertaining, and drivers just losing their cool and getting very angry on the radio. Like, bro, chill out.
Oh, man. It's a very good thing that my radio button is pretty difficult for me to hit.
You got to think about it long and hard to get to it then, huh?
Yeah, for this exact reason. I mean, you can imagine through line into turn 3 on lap 1. Next thing you know, I'm a lap down. Then that weird false start yellow happened, and I get rear-ended. It's been a long night for the Tree and Technology Sneed Tombstone Game Farm Pontiac Grand Prix, which we still got. Woo! We can still run Pontiac.
Yes, sir. Good news there. We're not forced into the SS or anything, so we get to keep having our identity in the series. I love that. It's so much fun to have all the different cars. We had some Nissan GTRs out there tonight. I don't know if you noticed that.
I saw that in the mirror. I was like, is that a GTR? And then he blew by me. I was like, yep, that sounds a Nissan. That's pretty cool.
That's not fair. GTRs are four-wheel drives.
Yeah. They're also only inline 6s, so I guess it kind of evens out.
I suppose. They're going to be really fast through the corners and a little bit struggling on the straights.
Yeah, they still make like 600-something horsepower in real life, so semantics.
I've driven one. It's fun.
Oh, God, you're lucky.
I drove one at VIR.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said the whole time. I watched a guy in a Ferrari spin out. It was in the
I try not to laugh because that must have been hysterical.
458 Italia. Yep, spun out. And it was one of the driving instructors too.
That's a shot to the prod.
Yeah. The sad thing is they were supposed to have a McLaren there, and the McLaren didn't get brought because they had, the McLaren has the interesting doors, and they backed it into the trailer with the doors open. So the McLaren no longer had doors.
That's some GTA type shit.
It was a good time. It was a real good time.
I imagine.
Well, did you have fun at Bristol? I know it's just absolutely insane. You somehow finished 4th. It seemed like you were in the back most of the race, and here you are 4th at the end of the race. Now you started up front. You disappeared quickly.
I was driving tip off for so much of that race, and then I got top. I was like, "Holy crap, we might have a chance!" And then unfortunately, Lucas had contact with a lap car. And that absolutely destroyed my steering. Like, I could not turn worth anything for that final restart. I felt like that showed.
Yeah. Lucas thought his car was junk. It told him he had wheel damage.
What kind of iRacing look is this? It gives him steering damage with a meatball flag or something. And last time I went down pit road, it said I had 50 seconds of optionals. And that was during that stop. I was like, oh, God, my car was going to be junked. And we never really had...
I'm watching the 54 drive by you right now. The 54 Kincaid finished dog walking. Like, his rear end was about 50% skewed out from the front end. Like, holy crap.
Lord.
Finished it like that.
It's Bristol, baby. And Lucas actually brought home in like an Earnhardt Jr. type car. So at the end of the day, I can't be too disappointed. But yeah, very quickly, thank you for actually bringing me up here. I know it's not really my place, but there may not be a penalty. I don't know. I may come out of the podium. I kind of doubt it. I mean, at the end of the day, it was already under yellow, and I didn't exactly completely spin. But regardless, Mom and Dad, they're just kind of as frustrated with that as I am, so thank them for sticking out. My boss man, Wally, he may have watched, so thank him for sticking out as well. BCR Sim Products, STC Racing. Your team, DG Motorsports Racing. Because Michael pulled me and it's like, hey, do you want to be alone or do you want to have some friends? I'm like, I'll take friends. And Lucas actually messaged. I'm in VR, so I'm not able to check Discord notifications. If I would have known, he may have joined me in chance too. So I'm a nomad in terms of teams. Friday I'm with Andrew, but any other time I'm able to run, I hang out with whoever wants me.
It's good to always have friends. That's the best way to do it. I like being nomadic and hopping in and out. It's kind of why I broadcast. I can just go wherever I want to. And,
that is a luxury. You get to, especially under yellow, it's like, hey, how's your race going?
Pretty much. How's it going? How's your family? How's the kids? All right,
yeah.
bud. Congrats on the 4th place finish. Don't normally do a top 4, but we just wanted to because you were there and we could. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a fantastic night, and we'll catch you in the next one, buddy.
Yes, sir. You too.
Trent C. the 81. Bringing it home 4th. Just figure we have a chat. Why not? I have to say this has been iRacing.com. You can head on over there, pick up a subscription, these cars and this track, and come race with us. Go over to dgsracing.com, click on the big red snake. That'll take you to our Discord where you can sign up for any of our 9 series racing every single night, and you are welcome to join any of them. Come on by, check us out. We appreciate you being here tonight. We also have a final rundown to go look at. If we can hop on over to our results page. Here we go. Get this driver info out of here. I promise it goes away. There it goes. Lucas Heusmer, your winner. Wes Parker, Dominic Lee, Trenton Sneed, Jack Painter, your top 5. Margison, Montrose, Evers, Clapper Newell, and Deal squeaking out a top 10 there. Go to the next page here. We had 35 drivers in this one. Jay Schaefer, Tyler Lanin, Dylan Dreiling, Cody Cleaver, Griffin Jones, Mike Edwards, Daniel Llewellyn, Adam Crozier, Afton Sloan, Andrew Hayes, Dustin Eaton, Mark Kincaid, Rafael Vieira, EJ Johnson, Kyle Dean, Alex Reeling, Blake Roebuck, Corey Lavallo, Trega Boyd, Christopher Alkire, your top 30. Cars not shown on our graphic, 31 through 35. Matt Minnick, 31st. Kyle Heckert, 32nd. Adam Thompson, 33rd. Kelly Hyatt, 34th. Nick Hammer, 35th. Cars that did not actually get to start the race, but were registered in the session, the 28 of Jonathan Ledger and the 25 of Jason Palmer. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race from Bristol. A little bit of everything. The short track racing at its finest, at its typical known association. That's what you think of when you think of short track racing. You think of the bump and grinds, the chaotic insanity out there on the racetrack, and just the angry tempers, bent up sheet metal. That's what Bristol was built upon, and well, it's back at least in the ARCA series. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll catch you in the next race.